Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eclectica, everything sci-fi, fantasy, cosplay, superheroes, you got it. And of course, we have the gamers, uh, Michael, and we've got Drew. We've also got our man Charles. How you doing, sir?
Very, very well. Very, 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 very well.
So, the big story, we've been waiting for this for a very long time. Suicide Squad. Drew, I didn't get to see it yet. Charles, I'm sorry. But you guys, you saw the movie, so what's your
Oh,
take?
we don't want to spoil it for you, man. So we got to do it next week.
I'm telling you, man, if you're with this machine, then you should know that you need to be on these
No,
things
I'm
when they're
good.
out.
I know, I'm good. You
And
can go for it.
unfortunately, I'm sorry, there's
Do
going to be
it.
spoilers in this one. This is a spoiler show.
It's okay.
Everyone else knows. If you don't, what's wrong with you? Um,
Not a problem.
Suicide Squad is out. The reviews are in. The reviews are unjustly negative for the movie. But there are problems. There are qualms that me and Charles were chewing at in our writers' rocking chairs prior to the show. And we're going to jump into that today. After seeing it twice, going in for myself, this is just from my own personal vantage.
Right.
The film is good, if a complete mess. It's a fun mess, is what I called it.
Yeah.
Like, definitely a step up from Batman versus Superman, which I think most people will agree on.
It was.
The characters were, if not solid, they were enjoyable. Will Smith and Margot Robbie killed it as Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot, and Harley Quinn. Easily the two most enjoyable characters in the film.
They held
And
it together.
yeah. And throwing in the other characters, Captain Boomerang, El Diablo, Katana, Killer Croc, they were great too in their own right. They're a team. People often forget, being like in the throes of this DC film franchise thing, that it's an ensemble cast. You
Right.
can't have an ensemble cast without fleshed out characters. Otherwise, they're just chattel, like how we were saying before.
Filler.
Each character served a purpose. Each character had a personality. You see it shine in certain instances, and they kind of withdraw it in certain instances. And I think it made for an overall better experience when you're watching them all do their thing on screen.
Oh, yes.
So, my favorite line, I was telling you guys before this show, my favorite line in the movie isn't something that Deadshot says. It's not Harley Quinn. Definitely isn't the Joker. It's Killer Croc. When they're sitting in the bar and they're having their like emotional beat where, Captain Boomerang looks at Harley Quinn and he's like, on the outside, you're amazing, but on the inside, you're ugly. Automatically a great line for any chick. But like, you're ugly on the inside. And she's like, well, we're all ugly on the inside. And then she looks over at Croc and is like, except for you, Puddin'. You're ugly on the outside. And my boy Killer Croc just looks at her. He's like, nah, shorty. Takes his hood off. I'm beautiful. I'm like,
Yeah, you did.
yes, my boy, my life summed up in 2 lines. So there was some really great moments in it. Plot wise, it was a
Yeah.
complete mess, especially when you consider the fact that the main antagonist, it was actually a member of the team. Like Amanda Waller's, counter initiative to global catastrophe came from her camp. And what's more, jumping into the characters that I despised, Rick Flag. Easily the most problematic character in the freaking film. Why? Because your girlfriend's the main antagonist and you knew that and yet you did nothing. Why? Because she's my girlfriend and I like making out with her. Like, just... Ugh. I'm going to let you take it, Charles, because I'm already getting worked up. I'm going to start
Don't
cussing.
let- I'm gonna go off of what you just said. We've said it a million times. I'm gonna say it for the last time. Quit trying to make a damn love story.
We're trying to freaking throw tacking on the needless romance crap. And at first it makes sense because Viola Davis is Amanda Waller.
Right.
The corruption, the I don't give a F mentality, she's a cold chick, and that's precisely who Amanda Waller is. She is that character. She killed it. So throwing that out there. But like, it starts off fine enough because she's like, no, I'm about having leverage. Like, I'm going to have you on my team with at least 3 counterattacks to if you try to screw me over. plus leverage.
Right.
That's fine. Okay, so Enchantress is her leverage for Flag. But then you come to find out that she is actually the one that starts the whole ball of chaos going. And, like, as a character, to see him go on this whole self-righteous kick, I'm like, dude, every time that some bad shit went down, I'm just like, yo, this is your girlfriend that's doing this. I'd be that, if I were on the team, I'd be that one dude in the background. I was like, that's your girlfriend, Rick. Your girlfriend did that. These Sentinel dudes with the 100 eyes that we have to keep fighting, that's your girlfriend, man. You should take. Even Deadshot is like, yo, that's your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You need to go over there, smack her on the butt, and be like, you need to knock this ish off. Like, it was great. It was great. But, problematic characters. They had some really enjoyable characters. Editing-wise, it was a complete train wreck. The plot was convoluted, but damn it, I had a good time.
My thing, I'm gonna try to give some of the positive points here. One thing I did like about it was, again, you had the entire cast that felt like they were part of the movie. The characters all had a purpose. X-Men movies, a lot of them never felt that way. It was just like it seemed like no character was just there for filler besides Slipknot. You know, he had to get.
Yeah, he was the red shirt. He was the red shirt.
It's just like he might as well have been an extra in the movie. That's how fast he was out.
He was a glorified extra. So,
but everyone had a great purpose. Everyone's stuff seemed to definitely support the script. Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn. Hats off to her. She threw down. Will Smith threw down.
Mm-hmm.
But the Joker needs work, man. It was like he wasn't the character to me. Just didn't. It would work if the writing was better. But it seemed like he was reaching for something but he never reached it. It was like he was going somewhere, but he got lost.
He got lost in the shuffle, and and to add fuel to that particular fire, I think much of the disjointedness. Because first off, starting off, Joker is a secondary character in this film. He's strictly there. In some cases, he's there strictly just to advance the plot because he's how Harley Quinn and all the other madness goes down. It moves the story along. A lot of his scenes got cut out of the final, I guess, cut of the film. Like a lot of it didn't make it, so we'll see it on the deleted scenes or whatever.
Right.
But like you said, it just seemed choppy. It seemed like Leto's performance didn't quite know.
It never took off.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't. It wanted to pick up momentum over the course of the movie, but it just didn't. Again, I think that is because his presence in the film is so withdrawn that it's like, oh yeah, and the Joker's here too doing stuff. And his lines, man, he will definitely benefit from better writing in future films. It's not that a gangster Joker can't work. It's just that he needs to be placed in the hands of the right people that know the character, and two, who can write him into a film. Which is why I'm glad you brought that up, Charles. This particular one right here that I'm holding in my hand, this is Brian Azzarello. It's a small run that he did that was just called Joker. And this is, as far as I know, the closest that we get to Leto's take on the Joker in this new film franchise. In this, he's a lot more of a gangster. He's a lot more emotional. He's actually portrayed as being like a sexual being in this when it comes to Harley. And there's even a scene in this run where she's stripping, just like how she was in the movie. So somebody dipped into that, but they didn't dip into the character and what the monster that the Joker was in this particular run. So check it out. Its art was by brilliant artist Lee Bramayo, and it was written by Brian Azzarello, or Azzarello, however it's pronounced. Check that out. Warner Brothers, if you're watching this, this needs to be the basis for the Joker and the next Batman movie. Yeah. Check it out. Take notes. Show it to Leto, and go from there.
Now, this is, like you said, there were scenes and stuff deleted and everything, but in order to bring that Joker together, they definitely have to fine-tune him. They're going to have to work.
Fine-tuning, it's a must. It's a must.
I'm telling you guys, you can't get away second time having them all chopped up like that, man. You got to bring some substance to them.
Yep. He's there. Dialogue.
It's there. They just have to, fine tune it a little bit.
You've got to build some momentum. Like, I'm really struggling with how they tried to portray him as like, he's Joker as portrayed from the millennial gaze, is how I've kind of categorized that in my head. He's very spastic. He's a meth addict. He's like meth head Joker.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing that he does with the fluttering eyes and the big hand gestures, and he'll start a sentence and then he'll kind of like drone off. And you said that you have problems hearing him.
Yeah, it's like honestly, it was certain parts, man. His voice would completely change. You could hear him in the Joker talking, and it was almost like he would go into a completely different voice. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, he would trail off. And even
or what?
Yeah, and even down to the laugh. Like I'm in the 90s, the animated series, Mark Hamill coined the Joker's laugh because it's not just a ha ha ha. It's the ha 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 ha. It's like has those rapid little like staccato inflections. Leto's Joker's just the ah ah ah.
Yeah.
Like it's like the Count Chocula, dude. I'm like, that's the Count from Sesame Street, my boy. What is that?
It is.
The thing with the tattoo when he does it is cool, but I'm like, I think of the Count from Sesame Street when you do this, man. I don't.
That's
one, two.
Yeah. Get with Mark Hamill, man, and work that laugh, dude. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Joker's not the Joker without that laugh.
Yeah. And as far as villains goes, like, oh, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, that was. At some point, that was what Leto's laugh kind of devolved into. But he's not. I guess there's room for improvement there. The film, I think, one of the biggest problems that it had was its villain. And I was actually talking to a friend about this the first night that we saw it. The villain ends up being the Enchantress, who was originally supposed to be a part of the team, right?
Yep.
This is where I'm going to go in on Rick Flag's ass, because Flag is romantically into Enchantress, right?
Yes.
He knew beforehand that she was going to be a problem, to the point where she's like, if I start acting out of pocket, you need to put me down. If it comes between me or her, you need to take her out.
Right.
And what's Flag? I don't want to do that because I like making out with you. Therefore, it makes Flag just as accountable and just as to blame as Amanda Waller for bringing her onto the team to begin with. The film's main antagonist came from Amanda Waller and Rick Flag.
Yep.
So it's like, and then there's the whole thing about her brother being in the thing. Remember that part? That's why they called the film convoluted, is because there's layers that get added to it where she awakens, she tries to get her heart, but then she can't do it, so she activates her brother.
Yeah, she stole like the doll. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, where'd that crap come from? And she makes
how she got her powers anyway.
Yeah.
Did that even
mention like a magic machine or something like that? And I'm like, now it's getting, because it's magic. So it's like you don't really have to explain. The cool thing about magic is you only have to explain it. It just is.
But they just stuck that in there. I'm like, wait a second. Where the hell did that come from? It was just sitting there on the shelf. I'm like,
it was just sitting there. But the thing about it, seeing it a second time, they do give you the little tagline when they introduce each character.
Mm-hmm.
It says at the bottom, for a split second, her brother is trapped in a jar. And I'm like, that's still lazy. It's still bad, but okay.
Yeah, because even if you look at it even from the beginning, they showed when she went down into the tomb and they went and they scoured the place and they found her heart. Maybe found it then. But they didn't, you know what I mean? And pulled it out of there and kept it in that area. But they don't tell you that.
Yeah, she was doing the baby Laura Croft thing. She falls, munches it, activates the Enchantress. She gets taken over. That's fine. But you're not, aside from the two little totems or idols or whatever, you don't really get that she has a brother until you actually see that he's there. And then she makes the magic eater up, jack your ish up, wreck everybody's stuff machine that is supposed to be like the doomsday weapon of the film.
Yeah.
And it's like, it didn't quite take off the way that I'd hoped it would. So
I honestly, they didn't even need that in there. It'd been better just to have a fight, her and her brother fight everybody, because that thing...
Actually, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, Charles, because the alternative that we thought up, instead of it being some weird, indescribable magic machine that can randomly just shoot satellites out of space and stuff, dude, there's a being or a thing, a weapon in DC Comics that's known as the Annihilator. It's powered by hate. It's like a giant brolic box-shaped sentinel robot that's fueled by humans' hatred. It was created by the gods. It's come up multiple times in both the series and the comics. Dude, she, instead of going to find her brother, she could have just easily found a vault that Amanda Waller, we come to find out that the big twist in the second act is she'd been sitting on this annihilator the whole time, found it somewhere. It's a tool of the gods. Enchantress activates it, sends it on its way. And in the comics, this thing, once it gets revved up, it can't be stopped.
Wow.
It just goes. So unless you have superior magic that can stop it, it's a killing machine. It just wrecks everything. So that would have been better than I think.
To it.
Again, Warner Brothers, take notes.
Yeah, dude, because that whole thing, whole Ghostbuster dark cloud above the building with stuff spinning, it was just like, I don't know about all that.
What was that, man? I don't know. And one thing, though, that I do got to give the film credit for is that they weren't afraid to jump into the magic. They just dove in. They just dove right in
first
when it comes to the magic, which I think was bold. It was ballsy. And it was cool when they have characters like Katana.
Yeah, I liked her character, man.
Yeah. Who, funny side note, you notice her character doesn't really like, she's not as much a character as she is just that one person that sits aside. Am I gonna kill that over there? Are we killing it? No, we're not. We're good. All right. Just let me know. Let me know when we need to start killing stuff. And then I'm gonna talk to my magic sword, the dead spirit of my husband who's trapped inside the sword. She was cool. She didn't serve a purpose, but you like that she's there.
This might sound, please, people don't take this the wrong way. That's a bad way to start something. When I'm looking at that movie, what I loved about it was, honestly, that is like the costumes. You can go to any cosplay and see stuff. You know what I mean? To me, the simplicity of those costumes actually worked. You understand? If that made any sense what I'm saying, it actually worked pretty darn good, man. It was nothing where, okay, man, Thor, you got to have his helmet on. I'm always fussing. It seemed like, even though, well, they did pay homage to the old Harley Quinn, because you saw when she pulled up.
She had the well, even more than that, in the flashback, you see her in the full-on Harley Quinn OG outfit. Yeah, so that was good. That was a cool Easter egg that they threw in there. I was really happy about that.
Yeah, so the costumes totally fit, man. I can say with because a lot of the other movies, I fuss about the costumes really, really bad, man. It's like, man, how come they can't fix the uniforms right? They seem they fit.
Those were great. The outfits were great. Even Deadshot's were probably my favorite. Harley Quinn's I know is going to play it out because I know she's like now officially the matron saint of like dots everywhere. Halloween, you're going to see nothing but Harley Quinn's.
Comic book shows, everyone.
When is New York Comic Con for you guys?
October, what? I don't know, what is 6th, I think?
I'm not sure. I'm just saying, brace yourself because there's going to be an army of freaking Harley Quinns there, all dressed up as the movie. Because now she's officially Nick's favorite comic book character.
Yeah.
So be prepared. But it was great. It was good.
It was good. I like it. They definitely have to sharpen up the writing. So I'm kind of curious to see where they're going to go with the second one.
Yeah. The second one, see, because the cool thing, I was telling my friend about this too. The sweet thing about the Suicide Squad as a film franchise is they have a rotating cast of characters. You could turn this into 3, 4, 5, 6 some odd films if you have a rotating staff of characters. You could have Deadshot and Harley Quinn be the core for a while, and you cycle in different characters. Captain Boomerang will show up for a movie, then you cycle in with maybe Poison Ivy, then you cycle her out with, I think it would be so rad for this new film franchise. Have you heard the story about I guess it was Jim Gordon's son, James Gordon?
Mm-hmm.
He's a complete sociopath. Check him out. He is in, oh my God, I have the comic right behind me. It was in the Black Mirror. And he's Jim Gordon's son. Remember the baby that Batman saved in Year One?
Yeah.
That's the story that shows him grow up. He grows up to be a sociopath. He's just like completely a complete villain. He joins the Suicide Squad in the New 52 run. And he is like deeply infatuated with Amanda Waller. That would be such a weird, cool dynamic if you had the son of James Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, Batman's best friend, right? Serve as a villain / anti-hero in a Suicide Squad movie. And he has these weird emotional beats with Amanda Waller. That'd be so freaking cool. They throw that in there.
That would be major.
But you can cycle in different characters for the Suicide Squad movie, so it makes it kind of like this refreshable machine.
Yeah,
it's action films.
That's one thing I noticed too, man. It's just the characters aren't your typical. I mean, they had some metahumans mixed in there, but it wasn't like the typical Superman, Wonder Woman, over the top.
Yeah,
it was. You know what I mean? That's I like that too. I kind of like that mix and match of that. That was pretty nice. It was pretty. Yeah, and the Flash had a nice quick little cameo in there.
That was a cool cameo, right? Like Batman's cameo and the Flash's cameo didn't feel. I'm 85% sure those were part of the post-credit things, or not post-credit, the reshoots.
Yeah.
But they were done in a way that they didn't feel tacked on as a means to. Don't forget, guys. There's more DC movies coming. That was what the post-credit scene was for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, the executives want to make sure that we don't forget that there's more movies coming. So.
Wasn't just a posty note. All right, movie posty note in there just to let know.
Yeah. The post-credit scene was cool. I do like the line where Amanda Waller is like, "You look tired. Maybe you should stop working nights." AKA, look, boy, I know you're Batman.
Yeah. Man. She is
somebody. My boy Bruce bounces right back with, "I think you should shut it down. Because if you don't, me and my friends will.
Yeah.
Man, I know what you have going on, Amanda. You need to shut up."
Yep.
Oh, good post-credit scene, if a little tacked on. But yeah.
That was good. Yes.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
So if anyone hasn't seen it, I would definitely go check it out. I got to go see it again.
Check it out. I recommend it. It was good. Not phenomenal, not fantastic, not great. It wasn't the pivotal turnaround for Warner Brothers I was hoping for, but still good.
But what I can say about DC, I'm gonna give you some props. You're on the right track now. You're on the right track. Okay? You're on the right track. You got some people on the train. Keep it moving.
You
better bring it.
ECLECTICKA approved.
Yeah, right. You gotta bring it for Justice League now. Okay? Listen to what we're saying. If you need us, you bring us on board, and we'll help you tune it up. All right? All right. So let's continue here.
Hopefully so. What I'm hoping for is, because this one was a meager gripe I had with the film, the action scenes were a little too up close. Maybe it's just because my eyesight sucks.
No, I'm glad you brought that up.
Remember, compare the action scenes that we got, and I can't believe I'm saying that Batman vs. Superman trumps Suicide Squad in this regard, but it does. The action scenes, Batman's in particular, towards the end, where he's fighting off the dudes, the best action sequence in the entire movie. That style needs to be integrated more into the Suicide Squad films. And I say that because when you think of the Suicide Squad as being, once they've put down their differences and they're in the throes of battle, and you got Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Deadshot, and all these cool characters have these different power sets and abilities, I'm thinking that mixed with like the Avengers and like how they do those team up attacks, like how Thor and Captain America busting out those crazy. That needs to be a thing in the next Suicide Squad movie.
Fight choreographers. I'm glad you brought that up. This is my gripe with a lot of movies, and this was when Christian Bale, when he played Batman, why I would get ticked off watching the fight. So many cutscenes that would make you dizzy. It was like, you know what I mean? I always go back to the Matrix. Basically, the choreography in those fight scenes was nothing like kung fu movies. How they had you could see everything. If you're throwing punches, you could see the whole routine. You could see it.
It was smooth.
Yeah, it was very smooth. This one, they chop cut so much, you can't see what the F is going on. You have to and you said combo stuff together, but let the audience see what is going on. You can't, all these camera cuts, man. I was getting dizzy. I'm like, it's
jarring. It's jarring. And I think that's part of why people say that when it comes to editing, why it's a bit of a mess. Because there's so many rapid cuts. And in these action sequences, I'm expecting to see some crap like Katana and Harley Quinn. Like Katana goes for a swipe, Harley takes the bat, busts somebody in the face, turns them around, and then you just see Killer Croc just come in and just like arm bar like a dude, just give him that straight up close. I'm wanting to see that stuff, and it just didn't quite happen. The action sequences were fun, but they weren't as, like you said, like in The Matrix, it was one
you can see it's
one
like a
smooth
routine.
sequence of motions
Whole thing.
that made up a
That's
whole
like those
scene.
old kung fu flicks, just like those
Yeah.
old kung fu
Yeah.
movies. That's
Yuan
what.
Wu Ping, the people that did somebody at Warner Brothers should talk to the people that the action team that did Captain America, Civil War, and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Phenomenal freaking choreography. Phenomenal. So think about that. Imagine the choreography that we got in Civil War and the Winter Soldier, but with the Suicide Squad and characters like Deadshot and Harley Quinn, and even the Joker. You could add to that stuff too, because we're gonna have to explain at some point how is this dude, this coked out meth ingesting dude, Batman's his arch nemesis.
I would love, honestly, dude, I would love to write that fight scene for Batman and the new Joker. Dude, I tell you what, they let me write that MF for boy. I tell you what, I'd have people giving a standing ovation in the theater when they were done fighting. I guarantee you,
Telling you that.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah.
That needs to be a thing. They better figure something out for that. I trust Ben Affleck because he's going to be apparently writing and directing the next Batman movie, which is a good move on their part.
Batman versus Superman. If the fight scene's anything like that you'll put in there.
Absolutely.
Down, one of the
totally
best.
Totally agree. The stunt team, the choreography, the action choreography that you saw in Batman v Superman with Ben Affleck writing and directing, right? But add the same, I guess, character elements. Because if Jared Leto keeps up this performance, which I feel he's going to do in the next Batman movie, he's going to have to spruce it up. So spruce up his writing, make him more clever, make him more the Joker that we know and love. Keep him a gangster, fine, do what you're going to do. But it has to be on point. And then if you have that action sequence that you're concocting right now in that brilliant brain of yours,
dude, I would love to write it. Yo, Ben, give us a ring, man. Telling you. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we talk about this thing for another 2-3 hours, man.
I'm going to be talking about it for the next few days.
Wow.
So,
yeah. I thought Deadshot, his scene when he was shooting all that stuff, that was cool.
That was a great scene.
It showed his character to the T, man. He was that was nice.
Everything involving the actual team, their profiles, when their introductions, seeing them get recruited. Because if you notice, a funny thing, they all fight being thrown into a team, even down to when they're getting them from their cells. They're like, "Nah, I'm gonna fight you on this one, man. I'm not going." All those were great. Bringing that team together was awesome and completely fun. I had a blast watching those scenes. And where he takes the gun, and you got Will Smith sitting up there just being Will Smith, the charismatic bastard that he is. He's just like, you guys gave me an actual gun. And then it's just all headshots. I'm just
shots,
that's
man.
Deadshot. That's Deadshot, all right. So
yeah, I love it too. Like you said, man, when each cell they came into, they were fighting. They didn't even want to come out, man. Every last one was fighting. That was funny.
Oh, and Harley, she sat up there. She probably had my favorite one because she's just like, she has the little shiv, whatever that she held in her mouth.
Yeah.
She spits it out. She puts it in her hair. They go in to get her, and she's just like, boom, boom. She puts it on. She's breaking people off. She's stabbing people in the face. I'm like, that's my girl. That's fighting till the last, good to the last drop. So
that's some really
it was fun. It was a fun movie. Not perfect, but it's definitely an improvement. Like you said, Charles, you pivoted DC. Now make sure that it's a full-on motion and build on it from there. Yep. Did a great job building onto the world. A little bit of a convoluted plot, but you can fix that. It's fixable.
It's fixable.
We need a better Joker. We need a better Joker.
They can work with him though, man. They can work with him. They can work with him. The good thing is though, that he wasn't, honestly, the way that he was, it was good that he wasn't in more of the movie. If he was in more of the movie,
that would have been a problem.
Yeah, that would have been a problem.
He would have started to make the movie drag down. Yeah. And if you're going to add the magic and the Joker element to it, it's already a problem. But if you up the amount of Joker's activity in the film, it would have started to become painful.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So that was our more or less in-depth review. There's plenty more. We can go on this for hours, but I think we will spare you guys that for another show. We'll hold back on that for now. And anything else we got before we get out of here, guys? Anything?
I mean,
I'm sorry, we completely spoiled the movie for you, Seven.
Hey,
I
no,
feel so
listen,
bad.
listen. I'm gonna see it because you guys amped me up.
I'm
Now I know
sorry.
what not to expect, but that's good though because I don't want to shoot too high. So it's all good. I'm gonna
Walk
check it
in,
out.
yeah. Just forget this whole conversation. Just tune everything that I've said out because I know I talk too much as is. But
No,
forget
no.
everything and go in, have fun.
Yep. So
Yeah, 'cause
basically, don't pay
I
don't
listen
pay
to critics.
extra for 3D.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah,
forget
it's
3D. 3D in general is garbage.
okay.
But no, check out the movie. Forget the 3D.
Try to get the matinee.
Just
See the
what the-
movie,
Yeah.
but don't pay
You
too
can
much.
see the movie at your
Okay.
convenience.
Don't
At
let
your
the critics.
convenience.
Yeah.
Some of the critics, I was like, oh man, and then I went in there, I enjoyed it. So
Yeah, don't. That's why I don't listen to critics 9.5 times out of 10 anyway. Forget the critics. Go judge for yourself.
Right.
Over here at the SEV camp, we had fun. Eclectica, we had fun. We enjoyed it. Check it out.
Cool.
Warner
All right,
Brothers.
folks. Thank you
nice
so
one.
much for checking us out. And you got it. Suicide Squad. Check it out. Don't pay extra. And don't try to be in a line that's going to be 5 hours long or something. Not worth all that,
Okay.
but is worth seeing.
yeah,
So I guess we can give it, what, a 3.5?
I would give
3
it
out of 5?
I'd give it a 3.5 to 4 out of 5.
3.5, 4,
Cool.
3.5, 4. Wasn't like I said, there was really great parts in there, man.
Yeah.
It's just
Wait.
minor little
Bottom
things.
line, was it better than Civil War?
No.
Was
No.
it better than
Yeah,
Batman
hell-
versus
hell
Superman?
no.
No, there's not many.
No.
better than Civil
Was it better
War.
than Batman versus Superman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
got to keep it simple for the folks. All right.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you,
hear
Charles.
I hear you.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
All righty. Thank you, Drew.
Always a pleasure.
Always,
we got the
we'll see you
sign
next
off.
week.
If we don't get that, we can't leave. All right. Thank you,
It's
everybody.
a completely unconscious thing. When you guys say Drew, I'm like, oh, yeah, salute.
We see you guys next week, and we have an interesting surprise guest you will not want to miss next show.
Oh man.
All righty.
Woo!
All right.
All
Have a
right.
good one. Eclectica.
Later.
Gentlemen, I got to